We're going to round out the show today by bringing in Mary Lynn Foster. She's the regional CEO for the Michigan region of the American Red Cross. Thank you for being with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you.
What has this been like for you as someone who is trying to run the American Red Cross, an organization that is at the heart of our community and so well needed, but we're in the middle of a pandemic when people are staying home? What's this been like for you?
Well, it has been interesting to say the least, but really what the American Red Cross is doing is just a little bit different. We are still fulfilling our mission, which of course is to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of these emergencies. That's what we do. That's what our congressional charter sets us out to do. And we're just so thankful to be able to do that. You know, we are considered an essential business, and we've not shut down. The way we are doing our work, I guess, is a little bit different. A lot of us are working, as everyone is, remotely. I'm actually coming to you from my home office in Oakland County myself. And so the response has been a little bit different. When we think about disasters and how we do our work, every single night across the region in Michigan, we are responding to home fires. And as Red Crossers, we absolutely love putting our arms and wrapping our blankets and arms around those that may have just experienced a home fire. So we're doing that a little bit differently. We're doing it in a socially distant manner. We are masking up and communicating with our clients virtually, but we are still here across the region serving our mission, and we're so thankful to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think so many people just think about the American Red Cross and donating blood, but as you just mentioned, your effort goes well beyond that, and you got to think about what's happening across the country right now. We've had hurricanes. We have, the state of Florida right now is going through, the hurricane, but the wildfires as well in the West. How is this tapping the resources that you even had built up?
So, the beauty of our mission is that we prepare for, respond to, and help our clients recover when these events happen. And, we prepare all year. We just don't wait for these events to happen, of course. We pre-position resources and assets to be able to respond. So as soon as we see an event happening, whether it's a Hurricane Eta, that is in the Gulf right now, and it's been one of the most active disaster seasons for us. There have been 28 named storms so far this disaster season, and that I think about ties the record, in the history books. They start alphabetically, and we're well into the Greek alphabet now. But how we are responding is, like I said, it's just a little bit differently. We traditionally open congregate shelters, and what I mean by that is for a hurricane, we will open up congregate shelters in a church or a school or a community center. So we're doing a little bit of that, but in a socially distant manner. We have pivoted and are now putting folks in hotel rooms so that they are safe, so that they can still receive meals, so that they can we can still work with them and determine what their immediate needs are. So we have pivoted and are partnering with hotels across the country, and that's been a big difference for us and how we are responding. But we're still responding to every single disaster. And whatever the country needs, the American Red Cross continues to be there in Michigan and across the country. And here in Michigan, as I mentioned, we respond to home fires every single night, but we also support the rest of the country in these missions. And we've had dozens and dozens of our volunteers and staff deploy to these national disasters. And they are boots on the ground, seeing what's happening, working with elected officials, assisting in the shelters, assisting with comfort kits, and all the basic needs that our clients require.
Mary Lynn Foster with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast. She's the regional CEO for the Michigan region of the American Red Cross. And if we can just touch on volunteers for a second, I was very fortunate, back in Katrina, back in the day, to go south to cover the hurricane. And one day we were able to follow a volunteer crew from the American Red Cross. And I think a lot of people don't understand that they are volunteers taking time off of their companies and their businesses away from their families to go down into some of these disaster zones where you don't have running water, you don't have electricity. So can you talk a little bit about the training that it takes for some of these volunteers to be able to do what they're doing?
Absolutely. Our volunteer workforce really is the lifeblood of our organization. And that's something unique, I think, to the American Red Cross. 90% of our workforce is executed through volunteers, the beauty of our volunteers. And a lot of people don't realize that. I happen to be very fortunate to be a paid staff member of the team, and I've deployed myself to national events. But those boots on the ground, when you see those red disaster relief vests on the ground, those are volunteers. They're giving up their holidays. They're giving up vacation time. They're giving up time with their family and their friends to deploy, to help those who need the most help. And it just really is just incredible. I love getting out and meeting our volunteers, and that's what's, of course, more difficult now. But when we have our shelters, I get out there and I meet our volunteers, and they just have incredible stories to share, like what you were just saying about following a volunteer crew around. They're the ones that are working 24/7 in the shelters, welcoming clients to the shelters, making sure they're comfortable, that they are, they have the meals, the nutrition, helping them with their families, just making sure that they are safe, that they have a roof over their head, they have the clothing that they need, a toiletry kit, anything that they need just to really get them in a safe position. And then from there, we help them with recovery efforts as well. But we can't do what we do without the volunteers. And of course, that comes with a lot of training. So if any listeners or viewers are wanting to volunteer, we would love to have them call us, have them go to our website. And there is pretty significant training. Of course, we want to make sure that everyone knows what to do when they arrive. There are a lot of different positions on national disasters, but also here in Michigan as well. Maybe you'd like to help at a blood drive in your own local community. That's possible. Maybe you want to help us on our nightly disaster runs to help a family that is just watching their home burn. That's possible also. So we have a whole infrastructure of what we call volunteer services that when you call or you go to our website and submit an interest form, we will be right in touch with you to really understand what it is you want to do. And I assure you, if you want to volunteer for the American Red Cross, there is a place for you.
Mary Lynn Foster with us, the CEO of the Michigan region of the American Red Cross. Mary, just another couple minutes, just about 2 minutes left. You mentioned blood donation drives as a possibility for volunteerism. Right now, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen calls across time over the course of the pandemic for more blood donations and donations of convalescent plasma. How has that effort been ramped up in the state of Michigan during the pandemic, and where does it stand at this moment in time? Is there still a greater need for those donations?
There is, Tyler. So thank you for asking about that. There's a constant need for blood across the country. Again, a lot of people don't realize that the American Red Cross supplies approximately 40%. 40% of the nation's blood supply comes through the American Red Cross. So when the pandemic first took hold, we were faced with a lot of blood drives being canceled because we host them at our corporate sponsors and churches and schools. And of course, they were all closing. So we had to get creative and reach out to more community partners. But we are absolutely still hosting blood drives. I'm actually due to give blood again. You can donate blood, whole blood, every 58 days. And so I'll be signing up. And I want to assure everyone that it's very safe. We have implemented safety protocols. We are socially distant at our blood drives. You have a temperature check when you when you first arrive at the blood drive. We are constantly wiping down and sanitizing all of the equipment, and there is definitely a constant need, just a daily need for blood. So again, if anyone would like to donate blood, the best way to find a blood drive near you is to go to our website, redcrossblood.org, and just put in your zip code. Just a simple zip code, and you'll be returned with a list of blood drives in your immediate area. It's very easy. You can schedule your next appointment, and it's that simple. So again, it's a critical need every single day, 24/7, holidays, disaster, every single day. Our blood is needed, critically needed. And so really encourage anyone who's able to donate blood to please do so.
Mary Lynn, I know you're making a lot of changes, but please tell me the cookies haven't gone away.
The cookies, no, they haven't. At the end of the drive, of course, you can get your favorite cookie, some juice, and a little snack, of course. And absolutely, you just won't be sitting right next to someone. You'll be socially distant at a table. But of course, at the end of the blood drive, we want to make sure that you have your nutritional cookie and can be on your way with our thanks and gratitude for your blood donation.
Well, Mary Lynn Foster, we want to say our thanks and our gratitude to you for taking time out of your schedule to be with us today on the Oakland County MegaCast. And we encourage so many people to just take a little bit of time. November is a month of giving gratitude. Give a gratitude for your health and maybe donate blood.